All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth and who also were well. Peace and salutations to those of the hopeful elect. Just want to do a quick lesson. All right, I was inspired by watching this movie, Godzilla -1. All right. I believe the movie came out in the year 2023. And when I heard about it, it was like an article that said that that movie won an award for the best visual effects. All right. And usually when a movie wins an award for best visual effects, that means, they got the graphics, the CGI, which CGI stands for, computer generated images. If they've won an award, that means they made sure that they try to make the monster as fleshed out as possible, as real as they can put it in their imagination. All right. Well, Godzilla, that's actually based upon an actual creature. Okay. In fact, it's based upon, one of the greatest creatures of the earth. All right. Which is dwelling places, in the ocean. Okay. Leviathan, it's a very real creature. Now, we don't know exactly what it looks like. All right. But Esau, Edom, the higher up elites, they put the truth in their movies. They probably have a better, or they probably had, I should say, encounters with Leviathan. Okay? Because Esau, that they hide all the information. They hide, it's called classified information. Top secret. Okay? Well, Esau, they have high definition. In Salakia, for the background, Lord's will, the audio is clear. Lord's will, this lesson is edifying. Going back to what I was saying, Esau, Edom, all right, they have high definition 4K images, of the chariots, man. And not just with the chariots, the plasma when they're, supercharged, with that energy shining different colors. They also have, when the chariots are in their metallic form, when you can clearly see it's a vehicle. They got all those images that they'll never release to the public. Okay, the ones that's released to the public are the blurry ones. Okay, but the chariots, which those are the vehicles that the angels ride in. Okay, the angels, they be rolling up on Esau, man. All right. Esau understands very well that the so-called UFOs, are a threat unto him. Okay. Which is why, there's accounts where the chariots will show up and detonate the nuclear bombs, and Esau will be, bugged out, watching the timer go all the way down. Then once the timer reaches to like 1, the angels, they'll cut it back off. Which shows you that those missiles, that's the army of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's part of the army of the Lord, those nuclear missiles. And that was a demonstration via the angels to let Esau know that those missiles are going to do the will of the Heavenly Father, not him. Okay? Not Esau. But going back to the point, Esau, they have close encounters, as well as they have encounters with Leviathan, because Esau be out there, they be out there in outer space, so to speak. They be out there, in the waters, in the ocean, okay? And they have all these top secret events going all the way back, to World War I, World War II, which, I don't know exactly what year that movie was based in, Godzilla. All right. That particular movie, I think it was like based during the time, I ain't even gonna guess, but it was years back when, like World War I type era, okay? And that's when that movie was based on, at a time period. So Esau, they have all this evidence that they're not sharing with the public, but they'll put it in the movies. And I was inspired, to do a lesson because, Leviathan is actually going to make an appearance in this time, man. Let me get a quick precept. This is Job 41. I'm finally at my destination where I can sit and do this lesson. Lord's will, if this spot is cool through the spirit, I might just, walk here and do my lessons in the park. I know doing my walk and talk, there's a lot of cars driving by. So Lord's will, I'll start my lessons when I get to the destination. All right, but this is Job 41:1. All right, it says, canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? All right, and the Lord, is being facetious, okay? Because Leviathan, it's impossible for Esau, Edom, or man, that is, to subdue Leviathan, all right? Because Esau, the so-called white man, he has a complex. All right, the scriptures speak about he's a man of the field, going back to his forefather Cain. So the white man, the so-called white man, all right, he has a complex where he has to go out and dominate the Lord's creatures, which is why they kill innocent animals. All right, and they do it for sport. They don't even do it out of hunger. They do it just for sport. All right, they take down grizzly bears just so they can feel empowered. All right, but the Lord is saying, you can't do that. Well, you gotta, Edomites that go out there and they hunt, whales, okay, and they'll get the spear and they'll hunt, they'll track the whale down, they'll chase it, all right, and it's a whole feat for them to take down one of these dangerous whales, all right, but the Lord's saying you can't do that to Leviathan. All right. And if you watch, any of these, Godzilla movies, specifically the more newer ones. All right. You can see, how the Lord is going to let Leviathan loose, man. And there's nothing that these Edomites are going to be able to do to stop, the creature that the Lord has created, to bring vengeance. So I'm going to continue to read. It says, canst thou put an hook in his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? All right, and that's what Esau do. They have those harpoons. All right, and the spear end has a hook on it. So, when they shoot it, into a whale or into a shark, it hooks onto them. So it's saying the Lord's being facetious. Like you can't do that, to this creature. Okay, this is the greatest creature that the Lord, through the Yahweh Shai and the elect, this is the greatest creature that the Lord created. So it says, will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? And it's funny too, because, one of these Godzilla movies, they was trying to pretty much so-called make a covenant with Godzilla. They was trying to have Godzilla work in their favor to go against the other creatures that was in that movie. Okay, which showed you that the Lord got more creatures hidden. Okay, right now Leviathan is hidden and tucked away. All right, but he very much exists. Okay, so it says, verse 5, it says, wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? It says, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? All right. Because Esau, Edom, they do that now. They, take the wells, they'll chop the well up, and for the merchants. They'll take the fat of the well, they'll melt it down, to make whatever they want to make, oil or whatnot. Same thing with sharks, Moab or Ammon, or both of them, they're known, for capturing sharks just to cut their fin off, just so they can make shark fin soup. So they'll throw away the whole shark just so they can get one fin, and behind some shit they're not even supposed to be eating in the first place. Will show you how bugged out, these heathens are. Okay. But nevertheless, they do these things. The Lord is being facetious. Okay. Job 41:7. Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? It says, lay thy hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Okay. I want to get the part. I'm gonna continue to read. It says, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Okay. And going back into these movies, Esau, Edom, they have their depiction. Okay. Because these different Godzilla movies are merely depictions. All right. But Esau, Edom has actually, encountered Leviathan, they have proof, of a giant beast that lives under the ocean. The Lord allowed Esau, Edom to see these things. All right. But, I don't believe they have a clear, image of Leviathan. They probably have, the Lord ain't going to let them get the full thing until the end, until the Lord actually reveals Leviathan himself. Okay. But they have like evidence, they have, a sort of a description of what this creature might be. Okay. And in that movie, they did a good job with that CGI, man. All right. Not saying that's what Leviathan actually looks like. All right. Because, the Lord, he's going to reveal it in his time. All right. But nevertheless, the scriptures speak about, actually seeing Leviathan. Your heart is going to drop. Now, when you watch the movies, the movies don't have that effect on you. All right. But when the real deal, all right, actually takes place, and the Lord, allows Leviathan loose, and Leviathan actually comes upon, the land, all right, to do damage. All right. That's going to be a whole different story, man. All right. And when that takes place, it's going to be, the creature is going to look so uncanny. Okay. It's going to, it's going to have people looking, it's going to have people dropping for fear, fainting, people having panic attacks, hyperventilating. All right. Because nobody has seen a creature that's going to look this dreadful, man. So I'm going to continue to read. It says, shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? It says, none is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? All right. Yahweh Shema Shai was the one that created, Leviathan, man. So it says, who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely portion. So the Lord is going to reveal Leviathan in this time. All right. And that's going to be crazy, man. Which through the spirit, a lot of brothers in my camp say, we speak in the spirit, we speaking as men, doing, a spiritual analysis, even though, we're just predicting. All right. But a lot of brothers in my camp, we believe that Leviathan is going to hit up, SF, man. Imagine that, man. All right. Because SF is right there, on the water, off the coast, where they got numerous bridges. OK. And also, SF, that's the place, You know, that's like the main place in Babylon, you know, where they had the pride parades, you know. So the Lord got a special judgment for SF, man. You know, through the spirit, you know, hey, man, the Lord might let Leviathan loose, man. Okay. You know, Leviathan, you know, he you know, him stepping upon the land, that might cause the great earthquake, you know. But either way, we know the Lord got heavy judgment for this place. The Lord got creatures hidden that the Lord is finna let loose in this time. All right. So I'm going to continue to read. It says, who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? It says, who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. All right. And when you look at that, you know, the depiction that Esau depicted, you can clearly see that they got the description of Godzilla from the scriptures, man. It's clear, you know, just like everything else Esau gets, like these different superhero movies. All right. With the, you know, men with supernatural abilities, they get that from the scriptures, man. It's called miracles. It's called spiritual power. Okay. You know, but going back, you know, to Leviathan, you know, that the description, they clearly get it from you know, this passage right here. All right. So it says, one is so near to another that no air can come between them, you know, because Leviathan, man, that's one, you know, hell of a feat, if you will, that the Lord created. That's a creature that lives, you know, where no man could go, like, you know, a creature that lives deep underneath the sea, where, you know, the scales would have to be compact in order to not be crushed by the weight, you know, of the ocean, man. Because the deeper in the ocean you get, you know, the more pressure forms. You know, that's how that judgment happened recently with the submarine, where they took a submarine down there. The submarine imploded on itself because they went too deep. All right. They went too deep. All right. And they got you know, crushed underneath that pressure. Well, Leviathan, that's Leviathan's playground down there. That's where Leviathan dwells, deep underneath the sea, man. All right. And, you know, he would have to have scales, you know, kind of like a tortoise shell. All right. But on a grander scale, so he don't get crushed underneath that pressure. And he's down there all the time. That's his dwelling place. All right. And, you know, the scriptures speak about, you know, the Lord created, you know, every animal in twos, he, she, them. All right. So there's more than one Leviathan, man. So how about that? How about that in these end times? You know, you think the Lord is going to release one Leviathan. The Lord might release multiple Leviathans, man, upon the earth. Okay. So, you know, we're in heavy times. All right. Because just think about it. People's going to be going through multiple extinction level events. The stress level is going to be intense. There's going to be famines, pestilence. Okay. You know, civil war. You know, World War III is going to be at its peak. You know. All right. Different earthquakes happen in diverse places. You know, people's minds is going to be all over the place. Then the Lord is just going to start releasing these different creatures that people thought didn't exist. All right. That's really going to cause people to hey, man, the Lord is finna really abase these people of the earth, man. All right. The Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to show his power in this time. Okay. So I'm going to continue to read. It says, by his nestings, a light does shine, and his eyes are like eyelids of the morning. All right, so Leviathan, he has, you know, pretty much spiritual power, like the, you know, the older brother of Manatazak. All right, Bunyamin. All right, he be saying that, you know, pretty much, you know, Leviathan got spiritual power. Okay, verse 19, it says, out of his mouth go burning lamps. So Leviathan, he's actually able to shoot, you know, plasma All right, whatever his genetic makeup is to be to be able to live under there. All right, that's one of the abilities that the Lord gave Leviathan, to be able to shoot plasma, all right, from his mouth, man. All right, which plasma is another state of matter, is like pretty much fire. Okay, so it says, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. All right, and you know they depicted that very well. All right, again in these different movies. All right, well one of the Godzilla movies, he was hit with a nuclear missile and he just absorbed that radioactive energy. You know, so it says, again, Esau, Edom, they know a creature like this exists, man. All right, first and foremost, we know according to faith, because we know the scriptures is true, man. All right, and the scriptures say we have seen but a few of Yahweh Shema Shai's works. Okay, you know, but Esau, you know, he's carnal. The Lord, you have to have Esau, you know, have, you know, multiple confrontations with Leviathan, man. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to read. Lord's will, I'll begin to close it out. All right, so it says, verse 20, it says, out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. It says, in his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. It says, the flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves, going into his skin. It says, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. It says, when he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the harbinger. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. You know, so iron unto him, which is a strong metal, it's like straw. You know, right now I'm actually looking at straw on the ground. You know, it's like you could just pick it up. You no physical effort at all. You can just easily bend and break straw. That's how Leviathan treats iron. Okay, there was another scripture where it says, you know, he plays with the ships. You know, and in that movie, in multiple different movies of Godzilla, it shows him, you know, attacking the Esau's, you know, military ships. You know, pretty much, you know, this devil, he don't stand a chance, all right, against Leviathan, man. But, you know, Esau, he's so proud, all right. You know, he's trying to wage war against our Lord Yahweh Shai and the holy angels, all right, which, you know, the vehicles that they ride in are the so-called UFOs. He's trying to wage war. You know, he's preparing for Leviathan. All right. Completely out of his mind. All right. I'm going to continue to read. It says, the sword of Salaki. Let me read down. It says, he esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Slinging stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. So pretty much you can't mess with Leviathan, man. All right, this creature is so strong. All right, that pretty much there's nothing you can really do. It says sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. So, man, going down, because the water, it only gets so cold the deeper you get. All right. And then there's parts where Esau can't even get. The temperature is too cold. The pressure is too high. But Leviathan is down there making the sea boil down there. All right. Which makes sense that, he would have to have, that nuclear, inward parts, if you will. His genetic makeup had to be nuclear in order to survive down there in those extreme temperatures. Okay. So I'm going to continue to read verse 32. It says, he maketh a path to shine after him. All right. Because Leviathan has that bioluminescence. All right. And again, in those movies, you see when, Godzilla, he's charging up, getting ready to shoot, that laser beam. It shows you he has that bioluminescence. Okay. Again, Esau, they literally took that description of Godzilla from the scriptures, man. It says, he maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is even king over all the children of pride. And when you go into the NLT in Job 41:34, it says, of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king of beasts. All right. So, yeah, man. Hey, man, when Leviathan show up, man, Lord's will, we on the right hand side, because, hey, the Lord is finna terrorize mankind, man. All right. With Leviathan, man. All right. Let me get another precept and I'll begin to close it out. This is Sirach 39. And I'm going to start at 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So we're coming to a time like no other. All right. Pretty much the parting asunder of time. We're at the end of this current world. OK, and the Lord is finna take this place out with a bang, so to speak. All right. The Lord is going to show his greatest works in these times, because after this, the Lord is going to establish the kingdom on the earth, which is going to be a perpetual rulership. OK, so from the time the earth was created, all the way, and all the kingdoms that came after that, all the way leading up to this final rulership of Esau, Edom. All right. That whole entire time period is a small time period compared to eternity. All right. This is just the story of how the kingdom will be established. So right now we're at the end of that. OK, and the Lord, he's about to give the kingdom unto his people, starting off with the elect. OK, so in the end, this is where, let me actually. Well, I'll just quote it. It says in the end with effects and wonders, roughly paraphrasing. So this is the time where the Lord is going to, reveal himself to the earth via judgment. All right. And we just read there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. The Lord, he's going to let loose, the Yeti, and whatever else creatures. The scriptures also speak about newly created beasts. You got Esau, Edom in the labs creating things and releasing them. So, hey, we're coming into a terrible time, All right. The spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is going to have to be upon you in order to survive these times, man. All right. The Lord is going to have to protect you because we're coming into some very serious times. OK. It says, in the time of their destruction, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right. It says fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and a sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandments. Yeah. Who created all these dreadful things? Yahweh Bashim Shai. Which is why we should have a healthy fear towards Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Unlike, the Christian church, they try to paint the picture like the Lord is just all love. Hey, man, the Lord created the most uncanny creatures, man. All right. The Lord, he's the one that's in charge of if somebody gets put to death or if somebody lives or be healed. All right. So, we should fear the Lord, man. All right. The end times, Yahweh Shema Shai is the one that's bringing it. OK. So it says, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, They shall not transgress his word. Okay. So we're in that time. The Lord is getting ready to let loose, man. That's why, the spirit is so heavy, man. All right. Yahweh Shema Shai is not playing around, man. Okay. So Lord's will, this lesson's edifying. I want to say, call all Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashim Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth and who also were well. Peace and salutation to those that are hopeful elect. Shalom and Abba Babah.